Yes guys, what's up, what's going on? So I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos now, just like this. Hold on, got my hoodie in the back, looks a mess. Alright, anyway, right, yeah, so let's talk about boxing. So then I will talk a little bit about Timothy Desert Storm Bradley versus Diego Chaves. Not getting much time to do it like with the proper production and that, so start forgetting. I'm gonna do it like this whilst I'm driving. I got some spare time. I thought I'd talk boxing, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing what I'm doing. Hold up, there we go, it's beautiful. Right, so Timothy Desert Storm Bradley versus Diego Chaves. Is it a good fight? Is it a crap fight? Could they made a better one? Look, I think this is a brilliant fight. Okay, I mean, what were the alternatives? Bradley Marquez 2, Bradley Pacquiao 3 if they didn't make the Algeria fight. Bradley, I mean, we're talking just top rank here. I think it's nonsense, this top rank thing. But like, I mean, then when you look at the politics of the Golden Boy and Al Haymon situation, you realize, look man, you know, like, Saul Alvarez is like one of very few fighters who isn't tied down with Al Haymon, you know, and like Al Haymon, and we see this common trend that Al Haymon isn't doing business with Top Rank, and you know, and vice versa, Top Rank not doing business with Al Haymon. So, you know, I mean, it's not a video about that. This is a video about Timothy Bradley versus Diego Chaves. So we're not going to get into the politics of boxing, which is annoying everybody. Everybody gets annoyed by the politics of boxing one way or another because we don't get to see certain fights. But Diego Chaves, I mean, let's look at this and dissect this. I mean, this guy's a good fighter, okay? Had Bradley faced Brandon Rios, I don't think it would have been an interesting fight. I think that Brandon Rios is a good fighter, but I think stylistically Bradley's all wrong for him. I think Bradley's got a tremendous chin. Bradley's got a tremendous heart. He's a tremendous boxer. He's fast on his feet, and all that spells trouble for Brandon Rios. And I just don't think it would be a competitive fight, to be totally honest with you. And I rate Rios. I think he's an underrated fighter. I think Rios is a good fighter. I think he's got an exciting style, and he knows how to cut off the ring. But I mean, if Bradley got past Provodnikov, I mean, I'd like to think he can get past Rios. Now, Rios should fight Provodnikov next, in my opinion. I think that's a fight that makes sense right now. But that aside, right, Bradley's fighting Diego Chaves now. Now, the reason I say Diego Chaves is a better fighter than Rios for Bradley, right, is because, I mean, it's a more competitive fight, is because Diego Chaves moves, okay? He boxes and he can bang. And we've seen Bradley get beaten by Manny Pacquiao, who is a tremendous boxer, He's not the same Pacquiao of old, but he's still Pacquiao. And being Pacquiao, you know, he's got that footwork, he's got that skill, and he's developed his boxing like unbelievably. I mean, he's winning his fights now off his boxing. And to beat someone like Tim Bradley is a tremendous achievement for Manny Pacquiao. So that's that. But I'm going a bit off topic. But Bradley can box, right? We saw when he faced Marquez, it was a different Bradley to what people expected. He showed up, and like, he showed up on the scene that I am Timothy Bradley. I am the man, right? I am the champion, right, for a reason. And he showed up, and he did Marquez. He really did Marquez. I loved how he wobbled Marquez in that last round. It was sick, and he really put it on Juan Manuel Marquez. He really put it on him. So we know what Bradley is, and we know what we get. But then we look at Diego Chaves. I mean, when they fight, Diego Chaves can box, okay? So let's see how Diego Chaves is on the back foot, okay? Because we know that he gave Keith Thurman kittens. I mean, Keith Thurman was like, he was struggling with Diego Chaves. He was struggling. But then knocked him out and the power prevailed. So, rate Keith Thurman on that one. So we know Diego Chaves is proven. He's come off a loss against Brandon Rios. Some people felt he was winning the fight. I think he was down. I had Rios winning the fight so far. But I think Diego Chaves is a good fighter. And it's going to be interesting because we know Bradley has a good chin. So knowing that Bradley's got a good chin, we know he could take the power of Diego Chaves. But in terms of boxing, now we're going into something a bit different, because Diego Chaves is an underrated boxer. And I know Bradley's a superior boxer, but I mean, who carries the firepower? I'd say Diego Chaves carries the firepower. Then Bradley can bang, and although he's not going to be knockouts, he can bang. I mean, if he couldn't bang, how would he wobble Pacquiao down to his boots and like make Pacquiao do a dance? You know, he really wobbled Pacquiao hard with that right hand. And I think with Bradley's fights, it all falls down to which Bradley comes in the ring. Is it going to be the Bradley of Provodnikov, or is it going to be Tim Bradley of Marquez? I mean, these are two Bradleys in the ring, and he better come Bradley of Marquez. And if he comes like that and he boxes like that, he should have a comfortable night with Diego Chaves, really. But this isn't a pre-fight. I'm going to do my pre-fight closer to the fight, as you know. I always do a pre-fight. Well, I almost always do a pre-fight. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really good fight. I think it's a very competitive fight. There are a few people who are upset with this fight. I think you guys are morons. I think you're idiots. This is a really good stylistic fight. I think it's the right fight for Bradley. Bradley's coming off a loss against Pacquiao. So I think a win against Diego Chaves will boost him a little bit. And he's had quite a bit of time off now since the Pacquiao fight. And, you know, he had the injury and whatnot. And it's been a few months now. And he needs to get back in that ring and really establish himself as the key marquee fighter of 147, right? Not the marquee fighter, but one of the marquee fighters of 147, because Bradley is in that mix. I mean, when we look back at this era of boxing, tell me that you're not going to be looking at Marquez, Bradley. Tell me you're not going to be looking at Provodnikov and Bradley. You know, you're going to look at these fights and you think, wow, Bradley was a specimen of this era, just like Marcus Maidana was a specimen of this era. Same goes for Bradley. I mean, you don't have to be the best, the very best. I mean, this guy beat Pacquiao in the first fight. This is all going to make up this era of boxing. When people look back at BoxRec, right, in like 30 years from now, and they're going to look back at this era, how we do at the Sugar Ray Leonard era, and we look back at like Ray Robinson, and, you know, we look back at the Ali era of boxing. I mean, people, what do? I mean, you go on, you box recs, you look on your records, and then you go and look at the fights, and then that's how like you do it, right? People are going to look at this era in the same way. They're going to see Timothy Bradley, he beat Devin Alexander, he beat Manny Pacquiao, he gave Pacquiao a loss after years, blah, blah, blah. That's what people are going to do. So Bradley's a key established fighter of this era of boxing, trust me. And I can't wait to see him against Diego Chaves, because I feel Diego Chaves is going to give Bradley trouble. I really do. I think he's going to give him trouble, but I think Bradley's just going to outbox him like for the majority of the rounds and just pull off a win. But I know Diego Chaves is in a lose-win situation. Like he's in a live or die situation. That's what I'm looking for. He's in a live or die situation, because if he loses, he's out of the mix. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how Diego Chaves performs on the night, because, you know, like I said, he's in a live or die situation. And it's going to be interesting to see how Bradley performs. I think Bradley's going to perform well. I think he's going to outbox him. But yeah, saying a pre-fight, you need to look at, you know, the training, how good in shape is Bradley. You know, Bradley was looking quite chubby and quite fat not too long ago, but I'm sure he's getting himself back in shape pretty quickly. Yeah, let's take a look at things. Let's take a look and see how these things go. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at sham_Ayub. And what else? Yeah, facebook.com/BeRealOnline. But make sure you follow me on Twitter, guys, because I'm very active on Twitter. And if you haven't got a Twitter, make sure you get on just to follow me. In a bit.